one voice, we will place it before the voting members of our caucus. But we're not endorsing candidates anymore. I think everybody's comfortable with that. Now, for me to say what I think about a candidate, if I ever am not able to do that, I disappear, I go away. This caucus. So you can say what you think about a candidate. And you can have all the mic you want. You can have that all the time you want to support your notion and ideas about a candidate. But I, as the director, this so-called bully pulpit that I have been given, and you folks have given it to me, I have an obligation and responsibility to tell you what I think. Not that I'm right about everything. Darlene?
Well, that day when Diane Feinstein was on TV, Jonathan Gruber, at the hearing, and I was watching on C-SPAN, and right away they put Diane on there, so you couldn't watch the hearing, but they showed it later. So I think it was deliberately done that time to get the attention off of Jonathan Gruber.
This Gruber thing, do we really believe that he's that stupid? I believe that there's, see, this guy is smart enough to have put together the Obamacare, okay, which we all disagree with. But do we really believe that Gruber was stupid enough to say everybody else is stupid? I believe that it was a plan, and it was a diversionary tactic to expose it. It didn't come out until we needed people not to think about actually what's going on. It's the case of this up here. Watch my hand. Everybody watch this hand. But I'm actually doing something down here. I'm getting something accomplished. I think that's what Gruber did. Magician.
Why would he volunteer?
But Linda wanted to say something. I never get to hear from Linda.
But you're speaking of when it came out perhaps, but weren't these little excerpts of what he said at different times in different years?
Yes, they were.
He's just bubbling over with wanting to brag about himself. That's how I look at it.
But the media,
now, the timing of bringing it out,
you're right.
Okay.
You're right.
Not him.
But they were willing, see, here's the wonderful thing about the message I've been trying to give. The Democrats were willing to ignore that. They were ignorant about it until it served a purpose for them. And the timing of it is exactly what I'm talking about. It's a good point. Oh boy, Dave's got his hand up again.
Deception.
What do you think about anti-gravity aircraft?
Is there anybody in there that can save me? I have the right to refuse to go there. Anti-gravity aircraft. Speaking of, the president can kill people with drones. And there's not a problem, but we can't waterboard.
You've been watching Star Wars and the Jetsons.
Okay.
Star Wars alone.
Don't wait for the mic. Wait for the mic. Joe, go ahead.
Yeah, I had to wonder when what's his name, Gruber, came out with that statement and made it public. I mean,
well, understand, Linda's right about this. He came out with them a lot of different times. The media made it public when it was convenient to grab our attention away from actually what was going on. Linda's very right about the timing.
because I mean, if he took it upon himself to volunteer to be a scapegoat, I mean, they really grilled him in Congress the other day.
He went home and he was very upset about that they grilled him in Congress. He was really worried about it. He wasn't scared about that. Not you again, Dave. You've got 2 strikes. Wait a minute. 1, 2. Oh, wait a minute. You got 3 strikes.
No, I don't.
You got 4.
4 strikes. I'm a swing. I keep swinging. I'll try to hit the home run.
Well, now you did it, didn't you? I forgot what I was
There is somebody out there who channeled me, and we had success with Dave. Thank you.
Okay, so
Ed, you have your hand up? Ed, do you have your hand up?
I just want to
Wait for the mic. Everybody wants to hear you.
I just wanted to say I'm glad to see Dave back and out of the hospital and doing well.
Yeah. Just a little bit too well.
And he's so usually full of perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, I do appreciate, I appreciate your being here, Dave.
I'm just full of it.
Yeah, well, I didn't say that.
I wanted to change subjects a little bit. I wanted to ask, what happened in Lansing with the smart meter meeting? I was in the hospital at the time.
I don't think anyone went, did they?
Well, there was plenty of people went.
I mean, from here.
Didn't think of the senator's name.
McMillan?
McMillan.
Yeah, my brother.
He said this is our one shot. Now, if they're going to say that going in, they already know the outcome. That there was no possibility that we're going to prevail against the commission. What is it? The Public Service Commission. This is the lobby of the Lutheran. The politicians who count, their silence has been purchased. They weren't purchased to say something or do something. It was their silence on this issue that has been purchased. There is a surveillance issue of the smart meter. There is a health issue, but they're not going to consider that. They were presented it in committee. But it didn't come out of committee, or you would have heard about it, and it never was going to come out of committee.
I probably wouldn't come back.
See?
Yeah.
Roger's looking at you like you want to say something.
No.
Oh. You remember?
Yes, I did. You were saying that Bentivolio,
Congressman Bentivolio?
yeah, could have killed Obamacare. But I believe that if he cast the right vote in our minds, they would have found a way to work around him. Like
You don't understand.
Like they worked around everything else.
Let me correct you.
But that was only my point that I forgot. The point, the question,
Well, let me answer this. You get your question. You'll have it. You'll have your question. No. Keep the mic. Keep the mic. I've got, you see, because you came in late and you didn't hear this. This was Rules Committee. Do you understand? Rules Committee. It wasn't the vote. Kerry Bentivolio did not vote. Congressman Kerry Bentivolio did not vote for this bill. But in committee, had he not changed his vote to allow it to come out of the committee to the floor, it would have never seen the light of day, and it would not live today. So, yes, and they could not have gotten around it. Can't you? No, they could not. He is the only person in the history of the House of Representatives that could have saved Obamacare.
Like your reason.
And it did. It's true. Go ahead, Dave. What was your next point? Did you forget? Okay. Folks, my voice is a little scratchy. It's 10 after 11. We'll take a few more questions, but we can close. I appreciate you coming out. You know, a lot of times we don't have that big-time speaker who's wanting us to help them get something. But I'm encouraged by you as much as I hope that you're encouraged by me. So this is why we do this, even when we don't have speakers. And I'm, quite frankly, I'm not begging people to come. I welcome them to come. But if they want to come, I want them to come to hear you folks. That's why I want them to come. You again, Tim?
I forgot what I was going to say.
Okay, we're going to end this. Last question. Tim, you don't get it.
I disagree.
You what?
I disagree with your perspective that there's nothing we can do to prevent the calamity, if I've captured your sentiment correctly. I am a believer in small, minuscule actions can have enormous effects.
I do too, I believe that.
You do?
I believe in miracles.
There we are. We're on the same page.
And so you believe that God's going to rescue the calamity of collapse on a country that has turned their back on God? You see, because, no, hang on a minute, let me finish. And you don't have the mic, so you can't talk. It would take a miracle. I believe in miracles. But this country, because we've seared our soul on the altar of commerce, because we have $200 trillion in unfunded liabilities. Because when Jesus went and turned over the tables in the temple, that was the same thing that those temple exchangers were doing with their currency is what we are doing with ours. And God's not honoring that. The tables are being turned on this country. You're asking for God to do a miracle, and I believe in miracles, and I believe He will not do it. I believe we have to go through the consequences of our silence, of our authorizing in silence. And I also believe that it's like castor oil. It tastes real bad, but it's good for you. We're going to have to go through this calamity of this collapse, and I think we get through it, but we have to go through it. Roger, go ahead.
I have a comment.
Sure. Okay, good.
The Bible says, if my people, which are called by my name,
There is the ring.
humble themselves and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, will forgive their sin and heal their land. I'm not sure if that's exact quote or not, but
It is close enough.
I think that's what's going to be required, is that people are going to have to turn back to God.
That is personal revival. As far as the country doing that, I'm not holding my breath because the country can't do it.
Well, I was just going to say, don't go see the movie Exodus. It's blasphemy.
Well, it may be the reason I go see it. I do believe you're correct.
I saw it last night and
Everybody wants to hear you. You're saying something without the mic. You saw it last night and you believe it's blasphemy.
yes,
Okay. Darlene?
Well, this past week, they said that in Virginia, 500,000 people lost their insurance just lately because of Obamacare. And then North Carolina, 500,000, and probably a lot of other states too. And the people can't afford the deductibles because maybe $6,000, $2,000, and then the hospitals have to take that money and take care of that money. And a lot of hospitals are being hurt by all this. I don't know, I think it's
It isn't going to work.
I still think it's going to go down by June.
It will.
So I
It'll
think-
go down.
And also with Gruber, what he said, that helps too.
Let me close with this, Dave. So you remembered now, Tim?
I remember what I was going to say.
Okay, I'm going to close with an Obama analogy that I just got this morning from some people. Tim, you're going to be the last question, Dave. I'm sorry. I forgot.
Professor Kaufman spoke last week, and he was encouraged by a lot of us including Dan Benefiel, to run again for regent. Do you think he would have a chance?
No, and I don't encourage you to do it. I disagree with Dan on that. You folks know I love Professor Kaufman, and I think he's a warrior when it comes to his issues. I did mean the last question. This is the last one. But look, wait a minute. I'm not done with answering Ken's point. I will not support Professor Kaufman in anything that he runs for public office. I will support him on his issues are right, but he is a loose cannon. He can't be campaigned. He cannot have somebody to tell him something. Professor Kaufman believes, and most of his life it has been true, that he's the smartest person in the room. And so when it comes to a campaign manager, somebody who tells him how politics works, he doesn't take it well. And it doesn't bode well for him in races. Dave, last question.
When I was talking about small actions can have enormous effects, I wasn't talking about it in terms of God saving us or not saving us.
I know you weren't.
It's not a religious issue. It is more in the area of the mathematical theory of chaos.
I disagree with you that it's not a religious issue, but we can disagree.